Hello, Facebook. All right, we are live on Facebook. I'm going to go live on Instagram real fast. It's checking my connection because my phone doesn't like Instagram for some reason. Okay, there we go. We're good. So hello, social media world. Just by way of introductions, my name is Rachel Holdaway, and I do marketing and stuff at On Pitch Performing Arts. And I love it because, like, my life kind of revolves around theater. And it's one of those things in my life that's kind of gone in and out. Like, in high school, I was super involved, and then I went to college and couldn't as much, and then I had kids and couldn't as much, and now they're getting older.
It's time and place.
So I'm back, right?
Yeah.
Seasons, and that's what we love.
Seasons of our lives.
So we're here for our Ask the Experts video. If you haven't seen one of our Ask the Experts videos yet, we take topics of theater and arts and all that fun stuff, and we bring in local experts who have more experience than I do in these areas. And we ask them questions in the hopes that all of us can improve and learn from people like Dede, who have more expertise in these certain areas. So I'm going to let Dede introduce herself now. Just tell us who you are, what kind of background you have in arts, and what we're going to be talking about.
Great. My name is Dede Williams, and I choreographed my first play, or helped choreograph, in junior high.
Oh, nice.
I helped my mom and my sister choreograph, and then I started counting, and it's when I got to 40 shows that I've either helped with or done, I stopped counting. So I've done at least 40 shows. I started dancing when I was 3, and up through high school I had experience mostly with jazz, but I also did ballet, contemporary, and some tap.
Awesome.
I don't like that to get out very much.
So I'm gonna make Dede do like a time step.
Well, and I can, it's just,
It's its own animal.
I feel overwhelmed when I get to tap. And then I went to college where I got my degree in theater and dance. I got 2 associate's degrees, and then I went on and got my bachelor's in something completely different, but then I got a minor in dance. So I have been dancing a really, really long time, and now I own and operate D for Dance.
Oh, fun.
For 12 years now.
Wow,
where
12 years. That? I knew you had a studio, but I couldn't remember where it was.
It's in the basement of my home in Clinton.
Oh, great.
We built the house kind of around the basement, and I have around 115 students, and I'm really the only teacher, so it's a lot. It keeps me very busy and active.
And then she choreographs on the side for local theaters, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Theaters, junior highs, high schools, community shows, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, so tell us what you recently did for On Pitch.
I got to be in and choreograph Aida, and it was a blast. One of my favorite shows I've done.
Such a good show.
And it's a great, very sad show.
Yeah. Oh, that's what makes it great.
Right, it is.
You can go see our video we made for Aida if you want to hear us rave about Aida. But yeah, so Dede has been in several shows with us. I think you were in Then There Was None.
And Then There Was None, which is a straight play.
Yes.
Which is a choreographer's a new, kind of a different thing.
You have to attack your material.
Yeah, and it was fun to explore the acting, because when a musical, you spend so much time with the singing and the dancing, and sometimes you kind of brush aside the acting, so it was fun to kind of dive into that.
Yeah, and that's what I love that OPA does a straight play every year.
For sure.
We can, like, we love the dancing, we love the music, but it's nice to sometimes set those things aside so that we can concentrate just on that. And to that end, if you have not seen our current play, which is a straight play, called The Musical Comedy Murders of 1940, you're in luck, because it's back on our stage Friday, Saturday, and Monday. And then next Friday and next Saturday, and then it's gone forever, guys. So
is there matinees?
No, not for this one. So it's 7:30 every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. Or not Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday this weekend and next weekend. Go get your tickets, www.onpitchperformingarts.com. All right, so now we're gonna just jump right in. We're gonna say hi to a few people first. Sarah is watching. Hi, Sarah. Oh, thank you. It is my birthday.
It is, yes. Happy birthday. I did
Thanks.
send that in text, but I should
You
tell you in
did.
person.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday.
It's like one of those birthdays where I kind of keep forgetting that it's my birthday.
I know.
Because, like, we've just been so busy. Yeah, and it's like, oh, we're going to celebrate this weekend. So I'm like, I'm not even in the birthday zone.
And when we get older,
guys,
we kind of, after, like, what, 16?
Yeah.
Then I think
sometime it's 21.
Maybe you can get all the way to 21.
Every now and then.
Right.
Oh, man. And Ethan's watching. Hi, Ethan. We're glad that you're here. And my eyes aren't good enough to see all the Instagram people. But hello, Instagram people. So I have a list of questions that we're going to be asking Dede. But if any of you watching have questions, just go ahead and comment below, and we will address those first. So first off, let's talk a little bit about choreography, because that can be a little bit different than like a performer approaching dance.
For sure.
So how do you personally approach choreographing an entire show?
Okay. So the first thing, you usually meet with the director. Find out what their vision is, because that's really important. You've got some directors that have some that just kind of let you go, whatever you want to do. I always insist upon a plot. So it's really important to know what your stage is and where you can use and what you can.
What are you trying to accomplish?
This takes place on a little tiny side stage. Oh, well then, what I had planned is
I will not be doing cartwheels.
Right. And then I familiarize myself with the show. If it's a show I've done in the past, I just kind of start listening to music. And if it's not, I go to YouTube and find some really great versions and some really bad versions. Because I think it's important to know where to not go with something too. And there's some bad versions of some shows, but there's some great ones too. You can usually find
Well, there's probably some things that like, I would imagine, I'm not a choreographer, but I would imagine like I could see something in my head that I would think was really cool.
Yes.
But then I might see something similar on YouTube and be like, no, that does not work at all.
Right. So then I usually take each individual song and I kind of make a choreography map. So I listen to the song and I'm like, oh, this would be so cool if this was like a big moment. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to make it big. And this would be better if this was like a partner part, or this could go down and be a special on somebody. So I make like a big map, because I find then I can just fill in the choreography from there. And then I find out what the director wants, because sometimes they want tap shows that they don't want the tap in, or they want to add tap to a number. So you got to get on the same page with that. Then you've got to really think about who you're choreographing. With my studio, I have some girls that are amazing. They're all in high school or almost in high school. I would choreograph something totally different for them than a junior high with kids. This is their first show they've ever done. This is the first time they've even learned their left foot from their right foot. So you've got to think about who you're working with next, and then you have to tell the story. Because if it's a musical, as opposed to what I work with my studio, and we still try and tell stories with my studio and feelings, but you have to find out if there's plot points in it. Like if you have to progress the story.
Like in Aida, there was a murder that happened in
the middle of the song.
Right?
Yeah. You have to know the moment of that happens, how you're going to get into it. And so that helps watching it, reading the script, that kind of stuff. Because most important with the choreography for a musical is, what is it giving to the story? How does it help tell the story? There are a few musicals that don't really they'll just Sing in the Rain, for instance.
Oh my God.
There's just a great dance number just because it's a great
Well, and I
dance
feel like
number.
those musicals that came from that era with Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, they're the one. Exactly. And so now, I'm just gonna throw this at you. So now if you did Singing in the Rain, would you keep in that dance number just for the sake of dance, or would you try to add?
It depends on the director, to be honest with you. If it were me personally, I would probably make it dancier, one of those, than story progression, because that's the true, the true nature of it. But then you get some directors that really want to update it. Like, I don't know if you've heard the new version of Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh, I was
very,
just listening to that.
Different.
Yes.
And they're doing modern dance. And so, I mean, that director clearly wanted something different out of the choreographer. So you have to go with what they wanted. So that's kind of the approach I take.
That's interesting. That's great. I just picture you with this map with Risk players or war.
And after auditions, and I'm like, and this person goes. That's not true.
Well, but it is kind of
you have to decide who can do what.
No,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
and I think the performers appreciate that too, because they don't want to feel like they're not doing a good job either.
Right. One of the worst things I ever saw was brilliant choreography. Right, it was for this little special thing I did. She made up this beautiful number and gave it to a bunch of high schoolers that had never danced before, and it just fell to pieces. The whole thing fell to pieces, and so you couldn't tell. Where it would have been better to do a semi-good choreography, very cleanly.
That they could nail.
Exactly. So that's an important thing to look at for sure.
Hey, that goes right into our next question. What are some important things to keep in mind when choreographing?
Right.
So I would assume your performers.
Yes, your performer.
What they can handle.
Your stage. There's a lot of different things, and I love working with fun stages. Yeah. Because it makes you reach in your creativity. This stage here is roundish.
Yeah, it's kind of like an oval. If you haven't
like
seen
an
our
egg.
stage, it's like a little egg in the middle, and then we have
There is a
seats going
proscenium,
up.
but not.
Yeah, and then sometimes like there's stairs that go into the seats, and sometimes we play scenes on the stairs.
Yes, and I did that because
I
there's this big
remember that.
hole, and so I thought that looks like a mast to me. So I had him singing on the mast as if, you know, that hole, as if it was a ship. So you kind of have to, I love working with the stage. It makes your creativity. I did Sing in the Rain, and we slid down the banister.
Because who doesn't want to do that?
Right,
I mean,
coming up in
honestly.
the aisles, if it's appropriate, some aren't appropriate for that.
Right.
So I like working with different stages. Is something that I definitely have to think about when I'm choreographing. Also, cuts is a big thing. Get with the musical director.
Okay.
Because if they cut this big, I've had this happen several times, like, oh, we're just getting rid of that. And I'm like, oh, I just spent a half an hour making up this great thing for right there. So it's a good thing to kind of know what you're keeping, what you're not keeping. One time we just cut a whole song, but I don't really blame them. It was not a great song. Not the choreography, but the song was never my favorite. So I get it.
It happens.
It does happen. So what was...
Okay, it was keep in mind. So we're keeping in mind the experience level of the performers, the space, the style of the show.
The style of the show, the directors.
Yeah, the director's preference.
What they want. And yeah, probably that's good.
That's awesome.
Probably more.
I think as a person who's not a dancer, I think that was a lot of really great information. So this is kind of a question for more of our dance-oriented people who have more experience. If someone was interested in getting into like local theater choreography, how would you, and they don't have any contacts necessarily, how would you suggest they approach that?
I think you start making contacts. Talk to people. People are always looking for good people. Be an assistant.
Right.
Come somewhere and say, can I assist you on this show? And then they can kind of see how you work. I actually worked with my sister just recently on a show, and it worked really well. We tag teamed one song, and I was like, I made a blast, it counts, it's you. But she probably remembers that story. So you can come and watch how it's done and get an idea, and then you know the director, you know the musical director, and then those people, it's amazing how theater does this. All goes to different theaters, and all goes to different theaters.
And then suddenly you have contacts all over the place.
Right.
And you didn't even mean to.
Yes.
You weren't even trying.
Yes, and the only hard thing is you can't go to everyone's show that you want to. You would love to, but you just can't make it everywhere.
It's so true.
But yeah, you start to make those connections, but so offer to help somebody. Say, can I help you? When you audition for a show, talk to the director about it afterwards. You know, maybe not during the show.
And a lot of audition
can I choreograph your show? That's not gonna work.
But a lot of audition forms do have, like, would you be willing to help in other areas? And you could mark that.
Exactly. A dance captain. I assign dance captains, so volunteer to be that. One thing, don't burn bridges. People talk in this world.
Oh,
it's people talk. You write down what shows you've been in, and they will call that director and be like, can I have her choreograph? And they'll be like, no. Or, yeah, she's great. So don't burn bridges. That's a big one. In anything you want to do. Dance, singing, acting, choreography, music directing.
Even outside of theater. Just
that's true.
Generally
just be a good person. Be a good person.
Be easy to work with.
Right. And don't, you know, every theater has something great to offer. And I work with all the theaters around here, and I have loved them all, you know, for different reasons. For their different quirks that they have, the ways their bathrooms work, or whatever. It's all so great. And so just realize, don't be like, oh, I never go audition, because you don't know. You don't know. So don't burn bridges.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, now we're going to move into like our dance section for more of performers. And most of the questions we got were about like, if I don't know how to dance, what do I do?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like everybody in our performing world is very concerned about dance callbacks, which I completely understand. It's actually really ironic that we're doing this video tonight because I just came from a dance callback like 2 hours ago.
And it's so funny because it's the one part I'm like,
Right? Oh, and I'm so jealous of the people that are like, because it can be difficult if you don't have much experience. So our first question was, what is the best way to prepare for a dance callback or audition?
Right. Okay, let's talk long term here. Take a dance class.
Right.
Just take a dance class.
She's probably got some.
I don't offer adult ones because I've tried before, but I know they do here.
We do. We have an adult class coming on. Oh, it's my birthday and my
grandma's calling.
Yeah, my grandma's calling me, but I have to call her back.
So yeah, it is. Just take one, find one somewhere. And I know one of the questions, and I'll just kind of go into this, is kind of what dance classes would you recommend? So I kind of wrote down what you can kind of learn.
I love it. She's so awesome.
That's because I'm like,
oh, Laura Anderson's watching. Laura, we're going to answer your question.
Okay. If you're only going to take one dance class your whole life, take ballet. Oh. I know you don't use it like you. Maybe unless you're doing Oklahoma, you don't actually do a ballet, but here's the things. It can teach you all kinds of technique. Straightening your knee, pointing your toes, carriage. I can see a ballet dancer the second they walk in that door. I guarantee you I can. They teach you a lot of the terminology that you use in a lot of your other dance forms.
Like the passe?
Yeah, passe and retere and pas de bourrée and you just go, I don't know what it is. And it will be so much more help to learn stuff.
Okay.
The second one I would recommend is jazz because you really can learn a lot of what you do in musical theater is jazz dancing.
Yeah, and that would have been I would have thought you would say jazz if I could only take
that would be my second if you enjoy it. Ballet is a little bit strict. Let's be honest.
Very technique.
It's a lot of time at the bar moving your arm in a port de bras. Let's be real. But if you want to have a little bit more fun, jazz teaches you movement quality. Okay. So not how to look like a robot, but how to move your body in a way that looks natural and realistic and all that kind of stuff. It gives you rhythm and performance. You learn how to perform a lot in jazz. Where ballet, unless you're taking a ballet performance class, you're probably just taking it for a technique.
Right.
Tap would be my third recommendation. And the only reason I say that is because unless you're in a tap show, I don't know how much tap would actually help you. But there is a lot of tap musical theater. And it can teach you definitely musicality, timing, and coordination. Yeah. You have to be coordinated to do tap. And I should take more tap as well. It's like, seriously, I've taken probably 5 years of tap, which for people is like, that's a lot. But in comparison to the 20 years I've taken everything else, to me it seems very small. And lastly, you could take a ballroom class.
I love ballroom.
Partnering, they use partnering a lot. Yeah. Also the rhythm, the terms are a lot. They were started, dance history lesson. Ballet and ballroom were actually started by the same person.
Oh,
the Sun King, Louis XIV. And they parted ways.
I think that makes so much sense, though. That makes so much sense with like carriage and
it used to be the way they could tell if you were royal and rich or not because you had the lessons. I don't know that I'd recommend a contemporary class but I don't know, they're doing it in Oklahoma. But I love contemporary. It's my favorite form, but for musical theater, I just don't know. The next way I prepare long-term is like look at the musical you're auditioning for. Know what you're getting into. Yeah. Is it going to be that Oklahoma with modern dancing? Is it going to be, learn the style that you're going to be doing? Get familiar with it. Okay, and this is a weird kind of a concept. Learn how to learn. I would compare it more to piano than anything else. Yeah. Because it's like mind to body. So if you have not access, you don't have the money to take a class, YouTube a combination and see how quickly you can learn it. And then YouTube a different combination and learn it even more quickly. Because you can learn how to learn a dance. It's so different than other aspects of learning.
It's much more physical.
It's much more physical. You've got to make that combination.
It down so far.
Right. And some choreographers go really quickly, some go more slowly. I've done both. I go really quickly sometimes and I go slowly sometimes. So learn how to learn. I know that's weird.
So it's so true. And I have been at dance callbacks where I'm like, what are you doing, choreographer?
Yeah, you tell me about that because I think you have a question about that. So
I think so.
Later on, but we can.
Sarah's asking what adult dance class, and I can't remember offhand which of our dance classes is for adults right now, Sarah. But if you go to the website onpitchperformingarts.com and click that education tab, it will show you all of the options. And honestly, even the dance classes that are listed under the children's, I really don't think
if it's not a performance, it doesn't matter.
None of them are performance classes. They're all just we meet once a week for an hour. I'm sure the teachers would love to have
my senior year of high school, it was the only because I had to have 2 dance classes per term to get my minor. I literally took a ballet 1 beginning ballet class after I'd had all this dance. There were football players in there to learn their balance and stuff.
There you go.
And so, but it helped me just going back to the basics. So really, any class you can jump into, do it.
And this is kind of, I found it helps me. It's not dance oriented at all, but like I have a gym membership. And so I go to like the kickboxing classes.
Coordination.
Yes, well, exactly. It's exactly the same thing because they choreograph kickboxing workouts. So it's like punch, 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 punch.
And that will help you learn a sequence, which is the same idea.
Exactly.
Mind to body connection.
Exactly. And I found that really helps me. So if maybe you have a gym membership, you could check out the kickboxing.
Absolutely. Or what's the new one? I've never done it. It's like the dancing one.
Oh, like Zumba?
Zumba.
Yeah, I haven't ever done that one either.
No, but that would probably be good.
Yeah, there you go. So check out that too.
For sure.
I think we already covered what's a quick way to memorize a dance audition.
Yes, but I do have another tip for that.
Great.
Transition.
Transition.
If you don't know what that word means, it means the same thing in dance as it means in life. So I'm going to stand up here.
Do it. Give us
so if you were to just do like a jazz square into a hitch step or something, this would be the non-transition way. Right? Hard to memorize because it's just a step and then another step.
Right.
But if you were to do a jazz square and then I think I put my feet together and then I bring them apart, then it gives you something to build off of. It's kind of like a story. Kind of like telling a dance story. Pay attention to those transitions as you go, because then it won't seem like this, and then this, and then this. That's hard to memorize. It's hard to memorize lines that do that.
Yeah.
If you've ever had to memorize like a Shakespeare monologue or something.
It's so true.
But if you have a story behind it, if a conversation's going back and forth dialogue in a play, it's a lot more easy to memorize. Same thing. Find those transitions in your dance that will be like, and that goes to that, or my arm lifts, and it comes down and kind of makes my foot go forward. Find those ways of connecting that dance transition. It will help you a ton memorize dance.
That is a really good tip.
Yes.
And I actually unconsciously did that tonight at my dance
awesome.
because they had like this spot where they wanted me to just do like whatever I wanted.
Yes, improv.
And then, exactly. And then it went, which I'm terrible at, especially in dancing. But then it went right into like this turny thing. And I was originally doing like a jump, but I found I couldn't transition well into that. So I changed my improv moves so that my weight was already on the foot that I needed to lift.
Because then it just moved right
exactly.
into it.
And it was easier to figure out. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I feel validated now.
Absolutely. And with improv, practice. I know that's a weird thing. Practice your improv. You practice your singing.
No, you do.
If you do a callback. So dance, you can't really, because a lot of times they throw it at you. But dance improv, look in front of a mirror. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a room of mirrors. But if you don't, call me. You can use my studio.
You do it in Walmart too. Like
I double turn in Walmart all the time. I pirouette in Walmart.
Well, those linoleum floors are great for spinning.
Yeah.
As a choreographer, what do you look for in a dance audition or callback?
So let me see where I wrote. Energy, number one. I look to see who is there and wants to be there and is willing to give it to me. Energy. Movement quality, like I was talking about jazz, dancing. Movement quality is just, it's an abstract kind of concept. You know it when you see it. Am I right? You know when you go to a musical and you watch that one person.
Because everybody's doing the same moves. It's like you're just naturally drawn to
that one person because there's something about the way they move that just feels right. And just feels natural. And so try and make the movement more natural to you. Your attitude.
Right? If you're like, oh my gosh, why do we have
that
to
when we
learn
talk
that?
about short term, like what you actually do at an audition. But have a good attitude. Musicality. We're auditioning for a musical. You should be able to count to 8.
And then know that you start over at
8. Yeah. And sometimes in musicals they do these weird half counts in the middle. As a choreographer, they'll let you know when that is. So watch for those things. Musicality. I do watch for technique. It's not the first thing I watch for, but if I'm looking for dancers, because sometimes I'll have like, this is the dancer step out. I watch technique and your ability to learn and take a note. So if I tell you, you need to point your toe at that part and you don't,
that's not good.
I brought it up specifically. So I'll talk about that more too when we do that. Is it the last question?
Almost.
Yes,
yeah,
we
just have, for those with little dance experience, what are some tips for being successful at dance auditions?
Okay, so we told you what to do before you get there, right? So now let's tell you what to do when you're there. Here's my do's. Go to the front. 2 reasons. You get noticed and you can see what the choreographer is doing. If you're in the back, you have no idea what's going on.
Well, and they're not going to remember you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so move to the front. Listen carefully, and I say this every time. Choreographers have pet peeves, right? Mine is people turning the wrong way because it's so hard to get them to turn the right way, and I will always bring this up in an audition. So if you turn the wrong way, and I specifically mention that, red flag.
Right.
You're not easy to work with. So if a choreographer specifically says, I love me a pointed toe, or make sure you keep those shoulders back, whatever it is, listen to that, okay? It's a hint. Be careful. Watch for little details. So I can bring my arm up like this, right? Or I can bring my arm up like this. Did you see it came from somewhere else?
Yeah.
This is from my shoulder. That is from my core.
Oh my gosh. And look what so much
much more interesting,
it's so
right?
much more interesting.
Yeah. So watch a core. What your core's from your shoulders to your hips. That's where everything happens. Where you shift. If I'm standing on this leg versus standing on both legs, it's a shift in my movement,
Okay.
and you can see it from my core.
Yeah. Well,
So
that brings out
watch-
more energy. Too,
Absolutely. It's the difference between a move and a move. You know what I mean? So watch a core and then go to the limbs.
Okay.
Watch carefully. We already talked about learn how to learn. Yeah? Have energy.
Yeah.
Have
I feel
energy.
like so many things can be forgiven.
Oh my
if
goodness, yes.
You have energy and you're smiling. If you're just like smiling.
We know as choreographers, you just learned this. It's not new information. We've done callbacks too. We know this is new information. We don't expect perfection. We don't expect perfection.
Right.
We expect you just to see what you can do. So the more you give us, the more you know you can do.
Right.
Right? So those other things was just to make you feel more comfortable when you're there. Okay, here's my don'ts. Don't be that guy. If you have some reason that you can't do choreography, come tell me at the beginning. I get it. Maybe you just had a baby. Maybe you had surgery on your knee. Right. Tell me at the beginning. Don't tell me every time I do a move. I will tell you what I need from you. So I'll be like, okay, so we're going to do a barrel roll. I know you can't do it. Just find something. Don't be like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that because I'm thinking, I'm trying to move on. I don't want to deal with you in a show, let alone deal with you right now. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
You know
That's
that
what I'm
guy. You
laughing.
all know that guy.
I know that guy.
Or the person that's like, okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then so on and so forth. And 4 raises their hand and goes, but where do I stand? And you're like, oh, okay, listen and don't be that guy. Don't think that you're different than everybody else there. Go with the flow. Yeah? Don't show your mistakes.
Oh, no.
A lot of times
no.
I would not notice if you did a mistake unless you go, and then I'm like, oh, what did they do wrong?
Right? No, it's
Yeah?
so true.
Just go with it. If you fell on the ground, make a really awesome jazz roll and stand up like, did you like my solo?
I just
that-
improv.
I just improv that really awesome jazz roll. Don't show your mistakes on your face or in your body. Don't over-explain. If you, this goes both ways. If you don't have any dance experience, you don't want to run up to me, I've never danced before. Please watch this, because I know a girl and I've worked with her several times. In fact, I teach her daughter dance. She has never taken a class and she's a beautiful mover. I love working with her. So I'm glad she doesn't run up and say, I've never taken a dance class, because I wouldn't know that.
Right.
Don't sell yourself short.
Well, yeah. Well, and then you've planted an idea in their mind
Yep.
that they might not have even thought of
Nailed
themselves.
it. Exactly. On the other end of the spectrum, don't walk up and be like, so, when I was a dancer, the repertoire, blah, 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 because then I'm judging you harsher.
Yeah.
And there's a few people that do that they're not up to the level that they say they are, and you expect more. So,
So just go
just
and
going
do
into it. Don't over-explain.
Yeah.
No over-explaining.
That totally makes sense.
Don't be a flancer. Now, a flancer is a fake dancer. There's somebody that if I do this, they do this. And they add this like embellishment at the end to try and look nicer than they are. And I'm like, rein it in. I did not look like that. So have energy, but have good what I taught energy, not
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
I've
met a couple flancers. Yeah, red flag that they're just, flancers are usually a little tricky to work with. So it's kind of a sign that they're tricky to work with.
Yeah.
So those are my do's and don'ts once you're there that should help you.
That's awesome. And I know that's what I've gotten better at dancing. I know it's not my strong suit.
Right.
So like what I can't just concentrate on is just smiling. And just like you said, like if I miss a step, I just smile
You miss
bigger.
a step.
Yeah, I just smile bigger when I know that I made a mistake, because then I hope they look here.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And we don't know. We make mistakes too.
Yeah.
People will be like, you said right foot last time. I'm like, yeah, I did.
So just translate it.
Obviously. So we make mistakes too. We really care less about your mistakes than those other things I talk about. Did you notice I didn't say once?
No.
I'm looking for people who never
No.
make a mistake.
Well, and I think that's really what, especially our non-dancer performer audience who send in all these questions about callbacks, really need to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
I know that's what I need to keep in mind, is that the choreographer knows you just learned it. They know that you might forget a step.
Mhm.
They don't care.
Right.
Like, it's okay
It's
if you
totally
miss this part.
okay. You know when you hear somebody, I don't know if you've ever been to, because I'm behind what I call it behind the table a lot.
Mm.
And someone comes in and sings, and you know in the first 5 notes if you're going to enjoy it or not.
Yeah.
Same thing with dance. I know. I've known basically from the time I taught it to you.
Yeah.
If you can move. Not because you did it perfect, because I can see you moving.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry about being perfect. It's not a thing.
Just let it go and have fun.
If you've had a perfect dance audition, let me know, because I would be interested to see if someone's had that.
I have never had a perfect one, but as I've lightened up, guys, and just decided, like, I'm just going to have fun, because I know it's not what my strong suit is what my face does while I dance.
Absolutely. That's that first thing I had. On there was energy.
Yeah.
That was my very first one.
It's
energy
so
with your face, energy with your body.
Yeah,
Act like you want to be there.
There you go.
And
So
you're just having a great time.
if we're going to sum this up for you guys about just like dance callbacks, we'd say have energy, be easy to work with,
Absolutely.
listen, and have fun.
Yeah. And if you can, get yourself into a dance class.
Yes.
For a couple of reasons. It'll help you with this, even if it doesn't make you a better dancer or make you feel like you're a good dancer.
Confidence. Just like voice lessons.
Absolutely. Number 2, it's a great way to lose weight.
That's true.
I mean, it's a great way to get in shape. It's fun. Yeah. Dancing's way more fun
It's
than
cardio, man.
running, which I do too. And it's fun. It's fun. A dance class is fun.
I would think it would be fun.
It is
I
fun.
need to take one.
It is fun.
So if you do want to take a class, really, on pitchperformingarts.com, we have classes for all ages, or you can check out your dance studio. Do you have a website?
I don't have adult classes, but I've been asked about private classes too. I mean, those can get, if you have the money, they can get expensive, just like private voice lessons would be. It's defordance.com if you want to. And I teach all ages of kids, and my registration's coming up first Monday of May. I want to say the 6th.
Awesome.
Look that up.
That's great. Well, and when we turn this video into a blog post, we share it again, we'll link to Dede's studio. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll probably email you and ask you for the website.
Great.
dfordancing.com.
dfordance.com with a Z.
dfordance.com. Love it.
Yep.
Great. I think, let me just scan down. I don't think that we got any more questions. I'm going to check Instagram really fast and make a face at Facebook because, Nope. All right. We answered all of our questions. Thanks so much for joining us for this Ask the Experts. We are going to be back in May with another Ask the Experts with Carol Madsen, who's going to be talking to us about directing.
Ooh, fun.
Right? So fun. Keep an eye out for Dede. I'm sure she's going to be on our stage again very soon.
Yeah. Sooner than my family wants me to be.
That's how yours is for me too. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Of course, it was fun.
All right, I'm going to awkwardly go offline. Bye,
We need a
Facebook.
remote.
I know, a remote would be so nice. Yes.